right now.
Hi, it's NJ21 United, and we're just going to talk about, what mutual aid means to us. Maybe, our favorite experience from mutual aid. So my favorite experience has been working with New Labor as part of the mutual aid work that we've done in Monmouth and Ocean County. We really, partnered well with them and were able to provide resources to the immigrant worker community, such as information on domestic workers' rights. We're able to get some of them some relief from the National Domestic Workers Alliance. And so, yeah, that really has been kind of the best part. And also, just the work that we were able to do and fill in the gaps of the society that weren't being filled in. All right, Adam, what would you say is what has mutual aid meant to you, or a favorite experience?
We started South Jersey Mutual Aid back in the spring when coronavirus happened, and it grew out of a project where we were trying to teach people how to organize little neighborhood pods to make sure that people were safe and healthy and had what they needed during the pandemic. And then we had this crazy idea that we would start delivering. We figured people would get sick and wouldn't be able to go out and go to food banks. So we had this crazy idea that we would go and pick up food from food banks from people, and we would take it to their house and drop it off. But what we quickly learned is that through no fault of the people who work for food banks, they're doing their best in a difficult system. But we learned that the food bank system is really designed not to give people food, not to give people food. It's designed to find reasons not to give it to them. And we couldn't pick up food for people because we couldn't prove eligibility. We couldn't prove that they needed it. They needed an ID card. They needed to drive down to their local food bank and sign up first, and all of these things that really were frustrating. So we decided, forget it. We're just going to find food on our own. And I don't know if I fully believed that was something that we could do when we first said it, but we committed to it and we did it anyway. And so we're still going. 8-9 months later now, we're doing hundreds of deliveries a month. That's hundreds and hundreds of people, thousands of people in our existence. And I think the thing that stands out most to me is that back in the spring, we would talk to a lot of people who were really having trouble right when everyone really started to lose their jobs all at once, in the kind of darkest moments in March. And I talked to one woman who thanked me for what we were doing. And she said that because we were dropping off this food to her, she didn't have to spend her rent money on food. And this was pre-eviction moratorium. So at the time, she thought she was going to lose her home. And it was literally had to choose between food or shelter in the middle of the pandemic. So that was really early on. And that's kind of like showed me that we were on the right track, that we were providing something that was really needed in our community, and that there wasn't any real other place to go for.
Awesome. Katie?
Yeah. Well, I agree with Adam. It's been kind of amazing. I don't think when we started this, we ever thought we would kind of be building a long-term structure, but I think what's been meaningful for me is that we kind of are now. We have so many volunteers. We have people who have really come out of the woodwork just when we needed their skills or their contributions. We have people who are getting food from the network, but also want to volunteer, which is always amazing. And I just think, I hear a lot of amazing stories, both from the people we deliver to, but also from the volunteers themselves about what a meaningful experience it is. I hear from people that mutual aid is the one thing that's kept them going through this really tough period in our existence. Just being able to kind of directly contribute to their community's well-being in this way. And it feels really different to people than kind of maybe donating or some of the ways that they might have been a part of getting food to people in the past. And so that's always really nice to hear when a volunteer tells me, like, this thing that I'm doing 2 days a week is the thing that's keeping me going. And I certainly feel that way. It's just been amazing, kind of the way that it's grown. And I feel like, what we do is we get donations on our doorsteps and we package them up. So every time I'm like, oh no, we're out of food, and I open my door and there's like another donation that I don't even know who it comes from. It's kind of an amazing thing to see just people coming together that way.
Awesome. And I know that you guys are organizing this weekend for a training through the Protect NJ Workers Coalition. So you'll have some mutual aid members that'll be trained this weekend as part of the COVID-19 health and safety training. Chrissy?
Hi, yes. Well, I kind of got involved through Adam, who basically wanted us to go shopping. I love spending other people's money, so that wasn't difficult for me. So, but to me, and I haven't had experience with giving the food out, but I've had a wonderful experience by growing friendships, growing connections, and just a sense of community in a time where people are very stressed, very upset. It's not been a good time politically in a lot of places. There's a lot of animosity and a lot of ill feeling, and this just takes everything away, because this is more important. To see somebody rely on the stuff that we get for Adam every week or every 2 weeks. It's a great thing to be able to be part of that, and I wouldn't change it. I think it's a wonderful thing.
Awesome. Melissa?
I think probably mutual aid not only helped shine a light on how we actually can come together to strengthen our communities, but it also shone a light on how amazing individuals can be when they feel the need to step up. To see the work that Katie and Adam have done since the start of this. And I completely forgot that this started with conversations about neighborhood pods. And that just blows my mind now remembering this. But the ingenuity of, okay, we're getting requests for cat food, so how are we going to handle this? We're getting requests, now we've been having discussions about used Christmas trees that people, are gonna buy a new one, and how people are starting to ask for Christmas trees for their families. And just recognizing that need instead of going to a community and saying, you need this, let me give it to you. The ask first is of the community, what do we need? And then we have a conversation about, is this something that we can help meet that need too? I think that's number one in driving what we need for the future of community building.
Awesome. Thank you, Melissa, and thank you, everybody. So NJ21 United hopes that you can be a part of the 11th annual New Labor Gala, which is going to be celebrating New Labor's 20th birthday. So I'm sure that in the comments we'll have a way for you to register, but thank you all for hearing us out and hearing us talk about mutual aid.